What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the jungle. Welcome to the jungle, and good Tuesday to you. Only two games in the association tonight, but both important games, both NBA Cup games. Come on, say what's up, Sharon. How you doing? Middleton over 3.5 assists. Do we worry though about Middleton's assist? Do we worry about his playing time coming off the bench? I know he's a game time decision. SG over 5.5 assists. Hartenstein over points. Those are all good plays. I think that OKC Dallas game is gonna be high scoring. Welcome to the jungle. Wait for a few more people to pop in. We'll get rolling here. There's a lot to talk about in these two games. I got a lot of plays I like. Um, I'm on some size and some overs and unders, which is rare for me. Ordinarily, I'm just mainly a player prop guy, which I still am. But I do have some sides and some over unders that I like today. Um, I heard a capper earlier today talk about how these games are in Vegas, but they're not. It's not till the the finals that happens. So these are not neutral site games, despite the misinformation that some people are putting out there. I don't want you to think that the games are in Milwaukee and second games in OKC. So first game today, there's a lot to get to. There's a lot to talk about. Orlando Magic versus Milwaukee Bucks. Orlando is plus 7.5. That's been fluctuating all day between 6.5 and 7.5. It opened at 8.5. Chris Middleton's a game time decision. I think he plays. Giannis is a game time decision. I'm sure that he plays. The over under is at 215.5. It was 213 this morning, and a ton of tickets, a ton of money came in on the over, and that bumped the lineup to 215.5. Is it worth taking the under? That's something we're going to discuss very soon. Tommy likes the Greek freak today. Yeah, he's going to get 30 plus, I think. He should play game time decision, but he should play. So we got Orlando with 7.5. We know they're minus Bencaro and minus Franz Wagner, but not Mo Wagner. Wagner brother number two's in there. And we have the Bucks who are playing well. Both teams are on a great streak. Both teams have won 8 of their last 10 games. Now, again, this was at 6.5 a bit ago. It's back up to 7.5. I like it at 7.5. I think this Magic team is too good of a team to give 7.5 points to, even though they don't have Boncaro and Franz Wagner. They're a defensive-minded team. Jalen Suggs scores when he has to. He's one of the best defensive players in the game. I think he'll lock down Dame a little bit today. The only points that Dame Lillard is going to get is going to be from the perimeter, from the outside, shooting threes. But Orlando does a very good job of limiting that. The way that Orlando plays offense and defense, they slow the game down. In fact, Orlando, let me find my notes here for you, has held their opponents to under 104 points in 13 of their last 16 games. Orlando's road games have averaged only a total of 208 so far this season. And here's what's a very interesting stat for me when it comes down to maybe some Dame Lillard under points, and when it comes down to choosing a side and over under here. Orlando holds their opponents to 82 shots a game, which is a league low. Milwaukee only takes 85 shots a game, which is close to a league low. So what's been happening is Milwaukee's hitting a very high percentage of their shots, Giannis inside and Dame Lillard from the outside. I don't think that they will even get to 85 today. They'll probably be 82, 81 shots. And I think that Dame Lillard is going to have a hard time shooting from the perimeter with Jalen Suggs on him. I like Giannis. I wouldn't mind Dame's assist, but I like Giannis points. Now, I got it this morning over 29.5. I think that line's gone by now. That's why it behooves you to become a Silverback Jungle member. Because in the Discord, I send the plays out to you as soon as I get them, so you can take advantage of the lines. I did say behooves. That's why it behooves you. So I got Giannis over 29.5 points. I would play him up to 30.5 points. I like that bet a lot. I wouldn't play him for 31.5, of course. That's a big difference from where I got him. And I would play it anything up to about minus 120 and minus 125. I think you're safe there. Now, like I said, both teams have won 8 of their last 10. Orlando's only given up 103.3 points a game. We talk often about the Miami Heat and how good defensively the Miami Heat play and how slow they play. Well, the Miami Heat are second in the NBA in points allowed, and they give up 109.3 points a game. Orlando's given up 103.3 points a game. That's a monumental difference, Jungle, from first to second. That's a huge difference. And this is, so we're looking at how we want to play this game. And we're looking at the totals. And we have a team that doesn't give up much. We have a team that doesn't shoot much in Milwaukee. They've been scoring a lot because they've been very, high percentage shots. But Orlando can take that away. So we have a total that was 213, got bet up to 215.5. I think we take that under. I think we have to take that under. So we're going with Orlando. I'm sorry, we're going with the total under 215.5. I'd play it at 215. I don't know. I might play it at 214.5. I wouldn't play it for anything worse than minus 125. But I do like that. I'm on the under 215.5. It's a contrary pick, but it's a play that Orlando's going to want to play that way. They hold their opponents low, 103.3 a game, only 82 shots a game. They're gonna, Milwaukee's not going to hit the same percentage of outside shots that they do when they're playing Orlando. I like the under 215.5 in terms of a side, and we'll talk about some more props too. Bobby Portis. Bobby over 10.5 points. I like that a lot today. He's steady. He gets his 21.5 minutes a game. He gets his 12 shots a game. I like him over 10.5 points, especially if there's any foul trouble at all with Giannis or Brook Lopez. He's going to get those minutes even more. Looking at the side here, and we're talking about the pace with which Orlando plays, and we're talking about how good of a team they are, third in the East. Like I said, even without Banchero and Wagner, Jalen Suggs is a bona fide superstar. He is. He's fantastic. He scored 26 points the other night. He took about 10 3-pointers. He scores when he has to. And they're doing something very interesting lately. Is they're starting Goga Bitadze and Wendell Clark in the same lineup, 1-4, 1-5, respectively. And I think that's interesting. And that worked for them against the Suns, 115, 110 victory against Phoenix. Was a high-scoring game because Phoenix games tend to be that way. But that's something that works for them. And if they're going to keep this game low, and if they're going to, limit Milwaukee shots, there's not a reason why we shouldn't take the third best team in the East, even without those two superstars. They're a well-coached team. They're a deep team. Cole Anthony off the bench, his points. Mo Wagner, his energy off the bench. Anthony Black is an unselfish player. I love Orlando today, plus the 7.5. Milwaukee and Doc Rivers are unpredictable. It's too many points to give a solid Milwaukee Bucks team. Plus 7.5 Bucks under 215.5. Not parlayed, separate bets. Now, there is another prop I like here. I talked about Giannis. I like the Giannis play. And I took a lot of sass in the comment section of my YouTube video today. I got sassed for taking Goga Bitadze of the Magic. I like him over 17.5 points and rebounds. And, it's only a one-game sample size playing starters minutes, but he's got starters minutes again today. And he had 37 points and rebounds against the Suns in his only game as a starter. I don't think he's going to get 20 less than that. I don't think he's coming down 20. And again, I took some sass action because in the comments earlier, someone was saying, you're basing that off one game. No, he's been over this in 10 games this season already, even without starters minutes. He's been over this in 43% of his games already coming off the bench. Now he's starting at the 5, maybe the 4, comes in at the 4. He's getting a ton of tip shots. He's a former first-round pick by the Pacers just 2 years ago. The kid's good, man. He's from Germany. The kid can play. The Magic fucking love German players, don't they? Holy shit. But the kid can play, man. And we're getting Goga Batadze. Some cappers faded him today. Not this ape, baby. Not this gorilla. That sass is not nice, says T-Bone. But not this gorilla. I'm taking Goga Batadze of the Magic over 17.5 points and rebounds, and you should too. Let me know in the comments. Let's talk about this. Let's open it up. Round table discussion for just a minute before we move on to the next game. Sharon Stokes, what do you think? What do all you guys think about my plays with Giannis over 29.5 points? Batadze over 17.5 points and rebounds. Bobby Portis, Uncle Bobby, over 10.5. I got the Magic plus 7.5, and I have under 215.5 total. Do you guys agree or disagree with me? It's okay to disagree here. Healthy conversation makes the world go round. But that's what we're going with in the first game. I'm very interested in that first game. I am. Thanks, Sharon. Sharon likes what we're on today. So I have 5 picks in that first game. Again, I don't parlay. I never use the word never. It's funny, as ironic as that sounds. But I very rarely parlay. My philosophy, so you guys know, is that I do all straight bets, high volume, well thought out, well researched. I weigh books against each other, get a lot of EV, place the best line with the best price every day. And the goal is to win 58%, 60% of our bets doing that. And we've been fortunate this season to be able to do that this year. We're in the 3% of people making money long-term betting on sports. We're 3%ers here in the jungle. All right. So moving on, we have the Mavericks and OKC. We have the Mavs getting 4.5, and we have the over-under at 230 right now. It's been bouncing around between 230 and 230.5. Sharon Stokes likes Luka over 45.5 PRA minus 129. I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all, Sharon. We're going to talk about where I am with the props here in a second, but I do have a side and I do have a total that I like here. Both teams hot again. So both these games, the teams are hot. We talked about both teams in the first game being 8-2 in their last 10. Dallas has won 11 of their last 12. OKC has won 7 of their last 8. They've played twice already this season, and they've split the games. Both games have been decided by 2 points or less. To me, is that a sign to take the Mavs plus the 4.5? Absolutely it is. I don't think there's any reason not to. You have to take the Mavericks here plus 4.5. They're too good of a team, the defending Western Conference Finals. They're healthy-ish. PJ Washington is a game-time decision, but it's an illness. It's not an injury, so I think they could probably vitamin him up. And I think he should be able to go more than he would if, say, it was an injury. So I like the Mavericks here plus 4.5. Here are some things to consider when you're considering the side and when you're talking about the total and other player props. So, like I mentioned, Dallas won 11 of the last 12. OKC won 7 of their last 8. Both games have been within 2 points. 2 points total. Dallas has covered the spread in 8 of their last 10 games total, whether they be a favorite or an underdog. So the books haven't really gotten them right here. And I think this is another spot where Dallas plus 2.5 would be more appropriate than plus 4.5, especially with Chet Holmgren out and throwing in the fresh bodies against Hartenstein and the other Jay Williams with Derek Lively and Daniel, whatever his name, I forget. My God, you know what I'm talking about. But I think that throwing in the fresh centers against Hartenstein, and against Jay Will is going to wear them down a little bit. The OKC Thunder are worst in the association at giving up offensive rebounds to the opponent. Worse than the association. They give up a ton of offensive boards, which also lends itself to Sharon's Luka over rebounds. It also lends itself to some points and rebounds prop for the Dallas big men. Um, but I do like Kyrie Irving here. I like Kyrie Irving a lot, over 21 and a half points. He's been over this in what's Kyrie been doing? He's been over this in 6 of his last 7, 35 and a half minutes a game, taking 18.7 shots a game and 8 3-pointers a game. In big times games, big time Kyrie Irving shows up. I like him over 21 and a half points. Like I said, OKC struggles in giving up offensive rebounds to other teams. They're terrible at it. Both these teams are top 10 in points. Both these teams are top 10 in terms of pace. Expect a high scoring game, and that giving up the offensive rebounds weighs into that as well. Here's a player prop to look at. Jalen Williams of the OKC Thunder, over 22 points in 5 of his last 6 home games, averaging 26. He's a better home cat. I like him today. Should get good minutes. You know, these guys take it seriously, man. They take the NBA Cup game seriously. That's why I think that Giannis and Rick or Chris Middleton are going to play regardless. You know, they'll be good to go in that game. But these guys take it seriously. And Jalen Williams at home, especially over 22 and a half points. I think that's a good play. I think that my favorite prop on the Thunder side, you know, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's for that's not my favorite prop. But he's funny because he's always going to get 28 to 32 points. And that's why it's so hard to bet on him, because his line's always like 30 and a half, depending on what time of the day you get it. And it's always juiced to the moon, or it's 31 and a half and it's minus 105. So he's really, I mean, you're truly just flipping coins at that point with SGA. But there's a prop that I really like here. And he's been getting at least 20 minutes a game. And he's a good shooter and he's a hustle guy. And it's Aaron Wiggins. So the Thunder, I like him over 11 and a half points and rebounds, over in 4 of his last 5 with an average of 14. We just need 12 from Wiggins today. But Aaron Wiggins, I like a lot. He's getting the minutes. He's playing about half the game. And he's active once he's in there. So my 4 plays in this game, I got the Mavs plus 4.5. I'm on the over 230. I wouldn't go over 231. I'm on the over 230. I'm on Kyrie over 21 and a half points. And I like Aaron Wiggins over 11 and a half points plus rebounds. What do you guys like? What do you guys want to know? That's all I got for you today with those 2 games. A lot of analysis. Any questions you guys have, fire away, man. Let's talk. Let's talk N to the B to the A, NBA Cup. You know, it kind of sucks because the next 4 games, there's only 8. Next 4 days, there's only 8 NBA games, so it kind of sucks. But you know, it's kind of a 2-sided coin, because it allows us to really dig deep. You know, dig deep with that hole into all these games. You know, each and every game, but it also kind of prevents and limits the amount of choices that we have with which to bet. So it's a 2-sided coin. Things pick up a little bit on Friday. We'll slate pretty much on Friday. But until then, it's going to be 2 games a day, and we'll be doing this, you know, deep, great analysis on each one of these games. But is there anything that you guys need me to answer before I check out and head over to YouTube? And please join me. TikTok. And please join me over on TikTok today, 4:00 p.m. Eastern time at Silverback Bets. We're going to do a live show over there too. Wiggins is interesting over there in Golden State. He's over there in the Golden State. So this is Wiggins' brother. T-Bone. This is Wiggins' brother that we're looking at today. Aaron, not Andrew. Sharon, I like Hartenstein's double-double. I think Hartenstein's double-double is a good bet today, especially because he's getting all the minutes he can handle. I like back in his rebounds. I'd be more apt to take his rebounds than I would his double-double, because I'd be more apt to take his rebounds than I would his double-double, because I don't trust him on putbacks that much. I don't trust him to score as much. One thing that Hartenstein does very well when he rebounds offensively is he kicks it out to the shooters, man. That's why sometimes Lou Dort is a good play. You wouldn't think of him as a good over points play. And guys like Lou Dort, when you look at his line, you know, you never want to take his normal line. It's like his line's always 10.5. I'd rather take the under than the over because he's under it more often. But with Hartenstein, when he gets those rebounds and he kicks it out to the perimeter to those guys that shoot like Lou Dort, who's out there for his defensive purposes, the Dorter Chamber, as they call him in some circles. Um, that's when Lou Dort hits like 20 points, man. Like he's capable of that. So Lou Dort's a guy that you never want to go over 10 and a half. You want to take him, you want to take him with the alternate lines of 14 plus, 12 plus for major plus money. So over 11 and a half rebounds for Hartenstein. Sharon, yes, I would take that. I like Hartenstein's over 11 and a half rebounds more than I do the Hartenstein double-double. We've had some viewers come in. I appreciate that. So we're going to recap the plays that we have in this Mavs OKC game. We got Dallas plus 4.5. We've got the over 230. We've got Kyrie Irving over 21.5 points. And we're on bada boom. We're on Aaron Wiggins. We're going over 11.5 points plus rebounds. In the early game, Orlando and Milwaukee, very interested there. We have Orlando plus 7.5. We have the under 215.5. We have Tazi over 17.5 points and rebounds, a point of contention. I did receive some sass in the comments earlier. And we have Uncle Bobby, big shot Bobby Portis, over 10.5. Over 10.5 points. Guys, thank you for all the support, man. You guys are on this with me with the ground floor. We're going to grow. I'll never forget you guys. Thank you so much. If you have a minute, come see me over on TikTok at 4 o'clock. We do a slightly different show, but a lot of similar information. At the very least, I'll see you tomorrow with a little more money in your pocket.